underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 187. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside, he only does everything, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
The Ape Grape, Anthony Gallegos.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. I needed something for you. I don't have a good one for you yet, so we need to. I don't want to have a rotating one like I do for Clements. By the way, if Clements was here today, he'd be the really contagious Ryan Clements.
Oh yeah,
he's sick as a dog downstairs.
He needs to be out.
Yeah, so I don't want him. I don't want to be in an enclosed space with him.
Right.
Anthony, what would you like your intro to be? What do you got?
I don't even know.
What do people introduce you as on the Game Spider briefings and or the Rebel FMs?
I introduce myself on those as nothing other than my name, Anthony Gallegos.
You say it like that too, all like defeated and wimpy?
Anthony Gallegos. Bitch.
There you go. That'll be your new one from now on, Anthony Gallegos. Bitch. Everyone's cranky. It's late in the day. Nothing's gone right. But we're here to give you the beyonds like we always do. So let's start it with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. Good job. You got there in the end, Anthony, that we needed your help. So, it's a three-man job, the Roper Report intro. Try to do without him. Nothing goes well. Remember, this was written by He Only Does Everything, Colin Moriarty. The opinions expressed here are not those of Podcast Beyond. Number one. Oh, wait, Anthony's here. I like when Anthony reads them. Anthony, go ahead. Lay me some tracks here.
The most recent news from Sony about the PlayStation Network outage is more of the same. The network isn't back up and won't be as of May 10th for at least a few days. In Sony time, that likely means PSN won't be back until September.
It's like late night comedians here.
I've just been thinking that fake PSN Twitter, which is by the way the funniest Twitter I've seen in a long time.
That's what it is, right? Fake PSN.
Fake underscore PSN. I think.
Okay. And I like the fake Casserole.
Yeah, that one's awesome. And yeah, they just make fun of it. And they talk about Sony time and stuff like that, and like how it's different than regular time. So yeah, it definitely follow that.
Go to IGN.com today and see the new PSN Mad Libs too.
Weren't we promised like a week ago certain features would already be back?
Yeah, but then they went back on that a bit and said that wasn't the case. Then they said May 31st would be the deadline for everything. And then they went back on that and said no, that's not going to happen.
At some point, we're just going to see someone come onto stage at the Sony press conference at E3 and just stab himself in the gut with a sword and spill his blood in front of all of us.
It's so depressing that it's still happening. And the worst that we have no idea. I guarantee next week when I'm out of the office and Colin's out of the office, that's when it's going to go live. Yeah. And no one here will know. I'll be down at pre-E3 Judges Week calling Anthony, screaming that something's happening. He's got to do something.
GameStop is currently offering $100 off PlayStation 3s to a number of their Power Up Rewards members. If you're amongst the chosen, you should have already received an email letting you know that you can claim your coupon on GameStop's website and get $100 off your PS3 between now and May 29th. So maybe May 29th is when the PSN is going to come back up. They know.
That's the date. Yeah, that's a great deal for people. Yeah. $200 PlayStation 3 is awesome. It sucks that it's not for everyone, man. They push some. They're going to eat it anyway, like with this obviously, but man, they would push a lot of PlayStations. They were just like, PS3s are $200 or $100 off until we get the network back up.
Yeah, some kid wrote in that he did this and that's why he likes the outage. He attributed this to the outage or something. He wrote a book of text. I didn't have time to read it.
Okay. Well, it is pretty clever in a sense that they did this because they seem to have the goodwill of most of the fans still for whatever reason. But also
it's because they're already locked in. I already own a PS3. I want my trophies. I want Sony to pull through.
But that doesn't mean you have to be like all honky dory about it.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are for whatever reason. But this also gives the goodwill of people like, I'm a little skeptical about this with PlayStation Network, but now it's $100 off and I get in. So that gives them the goodwill when the PlayStation Network comes on. So it's actually the first clever thing Sony's done the entire time the PlayStation
Network. If I was Microsoft man right now, I would be selling 360s. I would pay GameStop to do a promotion where they buy a 360, they get a year of Xbox Live for free. Just to say fuck.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the office. I was saying like Microsoft should do something where they're like trade in your PlayStation and get XYZ for a new game and a controller or whatever, new hard drive or whatever.
Yeah, Microsoft's been very, very quiet on the whole thing.
Well, to be fair, I was talking about this with some people in the office too. That I think the reason Microsoft's being quiet is because they know this could easily happen to them.
Exactly
too.
Right.
So they don't want to bait anyone being gloat, which I think is probably the wise decision because I don't know if I would have been that wise.
You're doing your victory dance right as they backdoor into the Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Apparently, a Modern Warfare 3 announcement is unsurprisingly on the horizon. The UK's official PlayStation magazine has a teaser in the current issue for their next issue, which promises a reveal of the game. However, with the magazine coming out after E3, we may just hear the news of the games before then, which is entirely
most likely possible.
There's no way that Microsoft hasn't had a press conference go by for years now that hasn't had the new Call of Duty at it. So, we'll see.
Fine, have it your way.
Burger King.
No, I'm just saying that's just been their thing every year. Right.
Too bad we had the agent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that logo? High five.
Yeah, remember L.A. Noire when that was an exclusive?
Yeah. I remember those days.
Dark Souls, the spiritual successor to Demon Souls, has a release window. Namco Bandai announced that they expect the game to come out this October.
Colin, you just saw Dark Souls.
I did.
You like it?
I do.
Why?
Because it's more of the same. Now, I'm not like a huge Demon Souls fan. I'm not Jim Riley by any stretch of the imagination, but I did enjoy what the game was trying to do. I think it was a little ridiculous at times, and I certainly didn't want to finish it.
Yeah.
But I know that the game sold 500,000 copies on the PlayStation 3 only in North America. And
that's a lot of copies.
It is. For a PS3 exclusive. When the game came out in 2009, too, the PS3 obviously wasn't nearly as popular
as it is now. The juggernaut it is now.
So there's something to be said about that. So this is basically more of the same, which I think is going to be great for fans of the game. Plus, it's going to be on Xbox 360 too, so they get to enjoy it and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about the game. And I actually brought Demon Souls home yesterday because I'm like, maybe I want to. This is kind of maybe I didn't give this game a fair shake.
Yeah.
Why is it being published by Namco now?
I don't think
instead of
money. I guess maybe Atlas wasn't able to secure the rights this time or whatever.
Yeah.
Because remember, Sony published Demon Souls in Japan. I think Namco published it in Europe. Right?
I have no idea.
And then Atlas published it here, and I think that's how it went. And then so they just publish it everywhere now. I think.
I see. Colin.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be part of the show, you write into beyond@ign.com. I go through your email, and if it's not too long and boring, it gets on the show. One of those emails came from Scott this week.
Okay.
Scott says, "Did the From Software guys mention if the world tendency would be in Dark Souls? It's the mechanic that makes the world more challenging each time you die. And I wasn't a fan of it in Demon Souls."
I can't talk about that stuff.
Oh, nifty.
Yeah.
He knows stuff, Anthony.
I imagine that their whole goal is to do as big of a kick to the balls as they can. So
yeah, I mean that's what made it famous, right? That's why Demon Souls was so popular, or at least known about, right? Because it was so hard.
From Software has been on the record saying that this game will be harder than Demon Souls.
Ooh, dog.
And from what I saw, because I wrote about how sadistic the game is. You walk into Sen's Fortress, which is like this location. You're instantaneously shot by arrows coming in like 3 directions. You can't like avoid them. And then like enemies descend on you, and there's like these blade pendulums swinging behind the enemies, and you have to go over this corridor while the enemies are like coming at you from behind and forward, and dodge the pendulums. And if you get knocked off the corridor, then you fall into this like moat where there are even more difficult enemies. It's like hilarious. It's so funny. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection is coming to the PSN someday. The collection will include arcade-perfect ports of the first 3 MK games and will come to PSN late this summer for $9.99.
It is important that they said that those are the versions as opposed to the console ports that are then being ported.
Do we know, is it $9.99 for all of them? Or
it's all of them. It's the collection, so it's all 3 games. 800 Microsoft points in case the PSN's not back.
All right, here's a hot news tidbit. Does your soul still burn? Because Soul Calibur 5 has been announced. Information on the game is scarce, though it's set to take place 17 years after the events of Soul Calibur 4. Even though Colin says I didn't know Soul Calibur had events. Look for it sometime in 2012.
I thought it was just I didn't know it had like a story. I don't remember there being any tangible
Well, just like
story.
Tekken has a story, and they're making an animated movie out of it.
Oh, great.
Can't wait to see how that turns out. I want to know more about the guy with the silver hair that stands up tall.
I want to know more about Bob.
I want to know more about is that the kangaroo?
I don't
wears
know.
boxing gloves?
I just like how there's characters in the name named like Bob and Fred or something like that. It's like those are great names.
Capcom reported this week that the prolonged PSN outage has cost them a lot of money. Christian Svensson, the COO, and senior vice president, said that the PSN outages cost Capcom, quote, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in revenue that were planned within our budget. These are funds we rely to bring new games to market for our fans.
You got anything to say? Yeah, I mean, whatever.
That sucks.
Yeah,
everyone's in the
very,
same boat.
very bad right now, PSN developers. Imagine the small companies, not the Capcoms.
Or imagine something even like Brink, right? Which may not have reviewed all that great, but that's like an online game.
Yeah, we can't even review it right now.
And they pushed that game up a week, so imagine if PSN comes back this weekend, which they said it should, because they said on the 10th,
I don't believe that
days.
anymore. I don't believe anything anymore.
But if they just let it go and Brink came out on Tuesday, maybe it would have been good to go on PSN. I don't know.
According to ex-Capcom developer Keiji Inafune, the father of Mega Man, Onimusha, and other hits, he recently gave a speech in Japan in which he said Capcom didn't want to develop or support his Lost Planet or Dead Rising franchises. Furthermore, he said that the games were finished by basically pretending that the games were in concept stages for far longer than they actually were.
It's so awesome.
He said Capcom wants to focus 70 to 80% of their resources on sequels, not new ideas.
I believe it.
I believe it too.
That's why we're getting Dead Rising 2 too.
I know that's like the unprecedented meta sequel of a sequel.
Yeah.
I love Inafune, man. I can't wait. I know that isn't the rumor that he's already created a new company or whatever. We don't really.
I think he did create a new company.
I was kind of hoping he would end up at a Western developer, but
I heard he's just making iPhone games.
yeah,
Yeah.
making PlayStation Minis.
Somebody's got to.
New details about Ubisoft's upcoming 2D revival of Rayman have emerged. Rayman Origins is set for release this holiday season and will be a 2D platformer that should be both gruelingly difficult like the old games and accessible enough for newer, less skilled gamers.
That game actually looks pretty cool.
It is very beautiful looking.
It's pretty, but yeah, Rayman never really caught on with me.
Me neither, but 2D and challenging
No, that's Colin
that
Moriarty's
piques
recipe.
my interest.
And the pedigree of it is interesting because
Ew,
it's from
pedophile? Gross.
it's from the guy that made Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yep.
Or Beyond
And
Good
King
and Evil.
Kong.
Hey, I enjoyed King Kong.
I wrote the guide for it back in the day. I remember not hating it, but then like the more you think about it, it's like just very linear.
I thought it was interesting getting to poke dinosaurs with sticks, and then when you got mad, you could throw the stick at them.
It's a bizarre game.
Easy achievements, though. I remember.
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
go for that to get ported to PS3.
Looking
I guess it isn't.
No, it is not.
2005.
So, Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Coming out any day now.
Just delayed again.
What? I don't believe it.
Ubisoft announced today that the game would be delayed, pushed out of its original holiday 2011 window and into the first quarter of 2012. Its actual original release was for 2010, I believe, and then it was delayed to spring 2011.
So that
Now
game's
it's-
going to be pretty good, probably.
Our current guess is that they're gonna pull a Splinter Cell in this one.
Reboot it all?
We haven't seen it since E3 of last year. So, when originally Splinter Cell was a game where you were like Hobo Sam Fisher
Yeah.
hiding in crowds, they killed that. So maybe they'll do the same with Future Soldier. So, the last story. A new Ace Combat game is coming.
Wow.
You'll realize how... sorry, I'm going to read the first line. A new Ace Combat game is on the horizon. You'll realize how bad of a pun this is shortly. Ace Combat Assault Horizon will be released on October 11th in North America and October 14th, Colin's birthday, in Europe.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Colin.
Thank you.
There's pre-order content available if you're interested in pre-ordering.
Wow. No, thank you.
Ace Combat was the first game I ever wrote a preview for. Ever.
Really? That's interesting.
An Ace Combat game.
I remember one of my first reviews of all time was, I believe, an Ace Combat game. It was one of the flying games on PSP.
Who's that flying?
No, not who's that flying. That's the end of the rope report.
That's the end of the rope report.
You didn't talk about the Assassin's Creed news in there.
What Assassin's Creed? I guess I missed that.
Same issue of Game Informer that had all that Rayman stuff in it. Had Assassin's Creed stuff in it.
Oh, I thought we already knew that about
His
it.
hook claw. We knew about the game. We didn't know the details.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's
you
fine.
want to
didn't
expound on it?
No, Assassin's Creed Revelations is coming up. You're going to play as. This is good. It's another Ubisoft game, of course. And I think there's something on the bottom I need. Is there a song name on the bottom there?
This story is
Yes.
happened.
Happy.
Okay.
Okay. Lost my train of thought. So it's another Ubisoft game. And, well, let's just say comas are a thing. There's
not
Driver
more
San
comas.
Francisco. There's a few more comas going on here. You're going to play as Desmond. You're going to play as Altair again. You're going to play as Ezio. Everybody.
That's the first that they're having all three of them in one game.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. So there you go. You got a hook claw. You're 50 years old. You fall in love with this girl. Probably in a boner.
Go figure.
Yeah, right. Ezio, he's a player.
Remember Boner from Growing Pains?
Yeah, he's dead now. Thanks for bringing that one up.
Did he die?
Yeah. Remember he disappeared
that's
during the
fucked up.
Olympics. During the
What?
Olympics. Yeah, he
What,
disappeared.
yeah,
what
that's
Olympics?
right.
The Atlanta Olympics?
No, I think Whistler, Colorado, right?
When
Or
was
no,
that?
that's where Whistler is.
Utah.
Yeah? Utah.
Oh, Salt
no,
Lake?
that's somewhere else. Whistler. Where's
The
Whistler?
Lake Placid Games, 1980?
Okay, shut up. Whatever. He's dead. Rest in peace, Boner.
Do you think it just says Boner on his
No, because
tombstone?
that'd be rude.
Why?
You want to be typecast the rest of your life?
If I was typecast as Boner the rest of my life, I'd be like, all right, you can go to like Comic-Con
I
or
can
something.
roll with that. I can roll with that. Colin.
Yes.
If I didn't want to be typecast and I wanted to buy video games, where would I go to know what came out?
You go to the official official list of upcoming PlayStation software on all three platforms by the IGN editors, right?
I
usually read it. I have it written on the whiteboard behind you.
Yeah, because you forgot it. You've been in a tizzy today. We've all been tizzied
I
up.
know I've been busy today. So Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, depending on how you like to say it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Brink.
Yeah. Can't
Which
play
you
it online.
cannot play.
Yeah.
And
Well, you can play single player, but I hear that's even worse than multiplayer.
Oh, okay, that's great. And Virtua Tennis 4.
Do you want to give call it to some fans here? During the first Friday, IGN's tour program, which you can get down on at tinyurl.com/IGN tour. Tour or tours? I can't remember.
That's what those are from? I wasn't even
They came into the podcast room, and Phil wrote up on the wall, "Don't be mean to Audrey," who's from NVC, and then Travis Johnson wrote,
Johnson?
"Greg and Hillary, you owe me a lunch." And then Sam said, "Hello." So hi, everybody. Thanks for writing on the wall. We will make sure that you are never allowed back in here defacing our property. Yeah, you got your Kirby's. Anthony.
Yes, sir.
What came out on the PSN this week?
What?
Exactly.
It would have been I don't know.
I don't know the release schedule for PSN Pass last week.
Because they never publicized.
Is that Xbox Live Arcade game coming out for PSN? The one Damon just reviewed.
What the hell are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Where you're playing as little mechs.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to come.
Gatling Gears.
Gatling Gears.
Yeah.
So I guess when PSN comes back, you'll have that.
How are they gonna do that?
I don't know.
A dump of 30 games.
No way, dude. I mean, this is gonna. I know the last game I knew that was supposed to come out was Under Siege. That was supposed to come out on the 3rd, and that's an RTS. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to probably put the entire release schedule in stasis as it was right before the PlayStation Network went out, and then just release the games as they were supposed to.
They'll have to go faster than that though, because they'll be so far behind.
I don't know, man. It's like that's not fair to the developers. You know,
I know.
If you release
Day One, Outland, Gatling Gears, whatever else.
It's like that's fucked up. I don't think that's like the way. I don't think they can do it that way. I really don't. I think this is gonna like stagger all the releases, like going all the way back.
But there has to be a catch up. If anything, it'll be like we're updating now Tuesdays and we're updating Thursdays. Like double,
right. They can barely update on Tuesdays.
Well, now they've rebuilt the system, Colin. It's gonna
now they
be
just
perfect.
press a button.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know what the hell's going on there over on Tuesday. Like Xbox Live updates, no one has any problems. Or not like people are like on my PSN update stories being like, where the? It's like fucking 12 o'clock at night. Like where are the games?
Yeah.
Don't you think this is like? Don't you think they should have this like it comes out at 5 o'clock Pacific or something like that? I hope that's something they fixed.
All right, Colin.
Yeah.
Brian writes into beyond.ign.com. He says, "Okay, here's my question.
Okay.
When the PSN finally comes back online, how are you guys going to celebrate? A special podcast Beyond, free download codes, multiple hits of the week? I would like to hear what you think."
Why would IGN give away free download codes?
I actually that's what we're going to do. And because I have like a dozen map packs for Killzone I got the week before this exploded. People have sent in so many codes to Beyond that we haven't been able to use.
And I'll be able to get people Outland codes and stuff for sure.
Oh, nice. Can I get
But yeah, of course. I don't know. I'm not going to celebrate. I'm going to be like, this should have fucking happened 3.5 weeks ago.
Oh, doctor.
What?
You got bit by a horsefly.
Sony better celebrate and send us a cake or something.
If Sony thinks that the old welcome back, here's 30 days of PlayStation Plus is going to smooth things over, they're sadly mistaken. I hope they've upped the ante. The rumor in Europe was that we're going to get... Wasn't the rumor something like 2 to 5 free games?
Funny you say that. Christian, a.k.a. Pwnfest, or Pwnfest 7, writes and it says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on SCEE giving away 2 free PSN games and 2 free PSP games to users. Do you think SCEA will announce something the same? I doubt it. If we get the same deal, which 2 games would you like to see become free?"
I think it would be fine to get any 2 games,
Okay.
or just have like a certain amount of money. Like I said the solution in the beginning: put money in everyone's wallet,
That's easy.
and then Sony can just eat it. You know, as far as like depending on what you buy, they can give their half of the money that the developer.
Yeah, because either way, as long as the developers are getting paid. But it would be nice if they did it for certain things like Outland and Gatling Gears or something. If they're gonna screw them.
No, I agree. I just wonder, I wonder if it's most equitable for everyone if they do the wallet idea, just because it monetizes everything immediately. So like everyone's gonna be a little skeptical of putting their credit card information about buying things on PlayStation Network. So they say, hey, everyone has $25 in their wallet now, go spend it. This is like they're gonna obviously have to eat half of that money by giving it to the developers. But it's a boon for everybody.
It's like when they sent out the stimulus checks and told us to spend them.
And then I just put it in my savings account.
Exactly, that's what most people do. Yeah. Well, some people do.
But you can't obviously transfer your Sony wallet to your Bank of America account.
I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'm going to hack it to do that.
Well, I'm surprised that hasn't already happened.
Colin.
Yeah.
We have a returning segment that hasn't been seen in a while.
Okay.
It's Comment Corner. Mickey Man wrote into beyond.ign.com and he said, "So since IGN and GameStop have a partnership, how soon will it be till bad commercials of IGN play in the store the red versus blue commercials?"
That's it?
That was it.
That's the one you chose?
He sent that into beyond.ign.com.
I think IGN's like one of the only companies that doesn't have commercials in the store. Like I see game trailer stuff. I've even seen GameSpot, I think, at some point. Yeah.
Well, we'll stop that soon. We'll replace it up there with Strategize ads and Colin ads. I don't know. What are you selling, Colin?
This and that.
Oh, that okay.
My wares.
I don't think the
Let me
GameStop
show you my
partnership has nothing to do with content, really.
Correct. It does not. If you haven't caught up, remember months ago we announced that this is before we even bought one up. We announced that there's some kind of IGN Entertainment's huge, and our ad team is partnering with GameStop to sell ads on GameStop and IGN.com. So like if you were like Deuce X, you could buy a IGN and a GameStop ad.
Though don't be surprised someday if you see some IGN content on GameStop.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean it opens doors.
It's just that we're not.
But don't expect
they have no say in our editorial. Like,
exactly.
I've never talked to anyone from GameStop.
Oh God, no, God, we don't talk to anybody. But never expect the GameStop us to have an editorial up of like, why power play is a great idea.
Well, I had an idea cooking about that.
Did you really?
No.
Okay, that would have been funny. It would have been creepy too. At the same
A little
time.
bit.
Colin.
Yeah.
You wanted some talking time.
I do. I have 2 things to talk about.
All right, well, go ahead. Well, topic of the week is kind of just up in the air. We can do whatever we want.
Okay.
Let's get some things off our chest.
Okay. Well,
I don't know what Colin's going to say.
No, you don't. You have no idea what I'm going to say.
I think he's quitting.
No. So the first thing I wanted to do was thank one of our readers. I want to do 2 things. The second thing's a little more important for me, but it's very important for me to also thank our readers.
Okay.
And one reader in particular, Clark Petrie. He sent me this week a Mega Man action figure.
Oh, I saw that.
And that was very nice of him to do. Now, he said this. He wrote me a letter. A little note.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Colin, I saw this at a Goodwill and had to pick it up for you.
Nice.
Perhaps you can do a review using Mega Man in the same style as the old Zone of the Enders review. Take care, man, and keep up the great work, Clark Petrie. So I wanted to thank him for that. I want to also reiterate that, guys, stop sending us things. We love you guys, but you don't have to spend your money on us.
It's true.
Spend your money on games. Spend your money on your family and your
Spend
friends.
your money on IGN Prime.
Do that.
No commercials, no ads. You're right into the articles. It's great.
What we want you guys to do is download our podcast for free. We want you to use IGN for free. We want you to enjoy it and have fun. And if anything, we want you to save money by using our opinions because we care about the things you buy and stuff.
And if you're going to use IGN for free and not buy IGN Prime, which I hear is just a dynamite service, even though I'm not 100% sure what it does, don't bitch about IGN having ads then. You had your chance.
Yeah, and I don't know why you'd bitch about a website having ads anyway. The world isn't free. But I wanted to thank Clark for sending me that action figure. I thought that was really cool. But guys, you don't have to send us things. We appreciate it. We're here for you.
I'll take items. Anything Star Wars related.
Send Anthony whatever you want.
And I love Pacheese Pizza. You can just keep coming
So I wanted to do that. Thank you, Clark. That was very nice of you. The other thing I wanted to talk about was something that was near and dear to my heart. Now, Greg has no idea what I'm going to say.
No, I've been told. First off, you gave it to me very bluntly that I pimp my own stuff on the show.
No. I was saying I want to do something.
Fine, go ahead.
I didn't mean it bluntly. I said that like you talk about your zombie podcast. I just wanted to talk about something that matters to me that I was hoping that I could raise some awareness about.
Go ahead. Is it going to be serious? It sounds like it's going to be serious.
It is serious, but it's not like the end of the world.
It's breast cancer walk?
No.
Is it the fact that the Earth's ending on May 21st?
No.
Okay, shut up. Don't bring that down. This year or next year?
This year.
God damn it.
I thought it was December 23rd.
No, it's May 21st, 2011. Look it up.
They fixed the Mayan calendar or whatever?
And no, this has nothing to do with Mayan calendar. This is a Christian organization.
I've seen these.
The rapture happens on the 21st.
Oh, the rapture. So everyone's going to disappear?
And October 21st is when the world actually ends for the rest of us that don't get left behind.
Okay.
But just as an aside, my mom used to tell me scary stories about the rapture, about how like you would just be driving in your car and then people would just disappear. I think, that's fascinating.
Anyways, Colin, tell us what's near and dear.
I'm a huge fan of the New York Islanders. They're a hockey team in the NHL. And you laugh, but there's
I know where this is going. I've seen your
things going on with the Islanders right now.
tweeters.
So the basic gist is that the New York Islanders are Long Island. All right. First of all, I'm from Long Island. I was born and raised on Long Island. I'm very proud of being from Long Island. I love Long Island. I never want to live there again, but I love it. And the Islanders are our only professional sports team. And the Islanders play in Nassau Coliseum, which is a very old 40-year-old arena that was built for them back in the early 70s. And they've been playing there ever since. And their lease is up 2015. The owner of the team loses about $20 million a year financing the team and is basically going to move the team after 2015 to another location if they don't get a new arena.
To not lose a ton of money.
Well, yeah, that and that there's a lot of markets like Quebec and Winnipeg and Kansas City and Seattle that want hockey teams.
Kansas City wants a hockey team?
Yeah, the Islanders actually played an expansion or an exhibition game in Kansas City.
How'd it go?
So what you're saying is the Islanders are going to no longer be on an island.
No, well, they wouldn't be the Islanders anymore.
The landlocked.
In fact, Kansas City, I guess the story goes that in Kansas City, there's an arena owned by Sprint, and Sprint offered the Islander organization free rent to play there. Now, that's a big deal, and I'm sure that's one of the options for them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hold the Islanders near and dear to me. And a few days ago, it was announced that there will be a referendum on Long Island to build the Islanders a new arena using a $400 million bond that would be subsidized by the taxpayers and hopefully paid back. Now, I just wanted to raise awareness of this. I know, just in talking to readers and listeners of the podcast, that there are people that live on Long Island, and specifically Nassau County, which is where the arena is. I'm from Suffolk County, so I can't do anything about it. That's the other part of Long Island, Greg. The other part of Long Island.
Gotcha.
So I want to just raise, and I'm not going to bring it up again until we're closer to the vote. The vote happens on August 1st.
Okay.
But I want to just raise awareness of anyone that lives in Nassau, and I know you guys are out there, that you got to go out and vote yes. You got to vote yes for this new arena. The Islanders must stay on Long Island.
Do you have a prop number?
Why?
No, it's just going to be a one-off referendum.
What is gained by them staying on Long Island?
Well, all right. So there's a few things. First of all,
Ice.
Yeah, ice. First of all, the most preliminary thing for me would be the pride factor. They're our only team, on Long Island. They're the only team we have ownership of. Every other team that people are fans of, I'm a Yankee fan and a Jets fan. Jets play in New Jersey, the Yankees play in Bronx. These guys are physically on Long Island, and they're called the Islanders. They're our team.
Why do they need a new stadium, though? Is the idea that if they get a new stadium, then maybe more people would come and they wouldn't lose so much money running a team there?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. Like a stadium that was built in 1970 is just not up to date in terms of seating and in terms of accommodations. The plumbing underneath the Coliseum is probably awful now, and that's really important, obviously, for ice and things of this nature. So they just need a new arena. That's a given.
Yeah.
And they've been using the arena for the longest period of time in the NHL without doing anything to it. It's like if you go there, it's a piece of shit. And I've been there many times. So that's one thing, is that we have a pride factor. But also, the Islanders create jobs. And Long Island is not doing well, and it creates jobs. It will create construction jobs. Construction unions are having 30 to 35% unemployment rate right now in Long Island. This will create thousands of jobs for them over a 4-year period.
Assuming that they win the bidding war and the construction doesn't come from outside of Long Island.
I don't think they're going to do that because they have the unions on board already with the plan. So okay. I think that deal's already been made. So there's the jobs created by the Coliseum. There's the fact that the Islanders are really going to be a good team in a couple of years, and it's exciting to follow them for the first time really since the early 1990s. It's been a long time. We've been waiting a really long time for this team to be good.
Well, they can be good, and then in 2015 move.
That's not what I want to happen. That's what happened. The Hartford Whalers moved to Carolina, and they ended up being really good. The Nordiques moved to Colorado, and the next year won the Stanley Cup. That's bullshit, So that really sucks. Yeah. So I don't want that to happen to our team. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there, let people know that that's happening, that the Islanders must stay on Long Island, that people in Nassau County must, and there are millions of people in Nassau County, they must vote.
Have car washes.
On this referendum.
Save the rec center.
This isn't. And the other thing I want to say is that the Islanders aren't a team, like a bullshit team that's easy to move. The Islanders won 4 Stanley Cups in a row. Can't move them. That's all I have to say. Thank you for making a mockery of my.
It's the Save the Rec Center one that got me. It's
my dad's gonna turn the Islander Stadium into a boathouse.
Yes, everybody vote. Now, what if? Here's the thing. Okay. Everybody's upset at Anonymous for setting up this PSN stuff. Yeah. What if we got them on board with this and they just went in and tweaked some of the numbers there at the vote day?
That's totally fine. Whatever's necessary. Now, here's the really devious part about the vote, by the way, is that it's on August 1st, which is a Monday in August on Long Island in the summer. It's totally awesome. So that was a clever thing because
why is that devious?
Because no one's going to go and vote. So it's really only going to be the people that really, really care about it, or the people that really, really don't care about it. It's the only thing being.
Is this a majority win?
Yeah, okay. And it's the only thing on the ballot.
Gotcha.
So that's fucking awesome. That's a great idea, but I'm still really nervous about it. There's still a lot of people against it. If you read Long Island's newspaper, Newsday, you know that a lot of people are against it. That if this doesn't go according to plan, the taxpayers will have to eat the money. Mm-hmm. In a town, by the way, that is all already, or in a county that's already $1 billion in debt. So this is a really daring thing, but the Islanders must stay on Long Island. And if they don't stay on Long Island, you will see a grown man cry. Because Kyle Moriarty will fucking sob like a baby.
Can we film that for
yes.
Game? Oh, wow, okay.
One way or the other, I'm going to sob like a baby because if the arena deal gets passed, then they sign a lease till 2045, and then they're not going anywhere.
I see.
That's it.
This is an emotional powder keg episode.
It's really been on my mind for the last couple of days. I had an hour-long conversation with my dad about it yesterday. It's it's a big deal on the island right now, and I hope it passes, and I just wish that the entire island can get involved because
I wish I had something I cared about this much.
Something you're this passionate about. Yesterday I got a kid forwarded me an email saying that the Portillo's in St. Charles is being investigated for salmonella. That stopped my heart. Like, oh God. First they got my spinach, now they got my hot dogs.
I was a little sad when they closed my comic shop in Berkeley.
Oh, that'll do it.
Those kinds of things happen. It's really sad. Things that you're attached to, I've watched teams move every so often in all these sports, and I just think about. I always really tried to keep in my heart like how I would feel if this happened to one of my teams, and now it's about to happen to one of my teams. You know? And I take that really seriously. And with the NHL refusing to expand anymore, which is totally logical, it means that any city that wants a team must basically poach it from another place. You know, and it's happening in a few places in Atlanta and Phoenix, and now it's going to happen to Long Island, and that's just really sad. You know, I don't want it to happen. The Islanders aren't a bullshit team. And we care about them, and I want everyone to make sure that they go out and vote and make sure that they show that they care about them. That's all.
Colin, this has been a sad episode for you.
It has.
Let's bring it up here and actually talk about something we briefly mentioned on GameScoop.
Sorry for taking so long on that, by the way.
You're fine. You're going to review Infamous 2.
I am.
That makes you excited.
I am excited.
We needed to bring this up because a while back, remember, we did an episode on why we wouldn't review Infamous 2. But I wanted to point out now that we didn't talk about this last week because before my editorial on Infamous getting me through my divorce wasn't up yet. That's now up on IGN. You can go to Infamous or Infamous 2, and it'll be in the articles there. Go read that, and you'll understand me. The problem was that I took it so seriously that I projected it on you. When I made the decree that I couldn't, when I made the decree that I was no longer of sound mind to review Infamous, I pulled you in really without talking to you about it. You are a sound mind to review Infamous. You'll do fine.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really open, and we talked about it in Game Scoop. I think you're doing a real solid here because I personally think you could review Infamous 2 and be totally fine. But I understand why you can't or don't want to. You know,
I just don't want anyone to question it.
I understand that. So yeah, I'm gonna take the reins. We get the game soon.
Hopefully.
I'm only sad that Colin's reviewing Infamous 2 because it means that I'm reviewing Hunted the Demon's Forge.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard me apologize to you when I looked at the review list again after like I had a conversation with Greg and Damon and because I was supposed to review Hunted and I was like I'm sorry and I looked at their list and I'm now on it.
I hope it's not terrible.
It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's just
Is that the Dave Clayman game?
That's the Dave Clayman game.
Dave Clayman, everybody. Let's get to some reader mail.
Okay.
Remember, if you want to be a part of the show, beyond at IGN.com. Anthony Gallegos, first question is going to be for you, so let's pick a doozy.
Blah, 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 blah.
All right, here's what we're going to do. This is a three-part question.
All right.
Anthony Kimimi, he's got questions for one of us each.
Okay.
For you, Anthony, he asks, the Osama bin Laden video game would not be a compelling video game to play. It appears the levels, only real action would be the crashing of a helicopter. And then, I don't know if this is a question. He's just talking.
This is belligerence. What is he talking about?
I don't know. So that was your question. You can chime in on my question, all right? His question for me is, Greg, as a proud American, what do you think about Superman renouncing his American citizenship to the UN in Action Comics 900? I think this is a travesty because of the history and the years of Superman as an American icon. Anthony, would you like to tackle first? Are you briefed on the subject?
Yeah, we had a conversation about this in the office, and I agreed with you, if I remember right, that it's perfectly fine for Superman to renounce his American citizenship because he is a citizen of the world.
Correct.
He's not the protector of the United States. He's a protector of all mankind.
And it's interesting. The problem was that the old left-wing / right-wing media, depending on where you're from, twisted this whole story out of twisted Superman's words. He wasn't renouncing. He
thought that he doesn't love the United States.
He actually was trying to he did it to stop a war, so he wouldn't have to be held responsible anymore and get the United States into trouble. He went over to Iran. There was a protest like the Egypt protest, and he sat on the side of the protesters for 24 hours and did nothing. Just stood there and stared down the army.
He wanted to watch.
Exactly. And they threw Molotov cocktails at him. Some people, blah, blah. And then eventually it just diffused because he was there long enough that they're like, we're not gonna fuck Superman. And so it started to leave and he left. And then Iran got all pissed off and, told the U.S. that this was almost an act of war and they were going to come for him. So Superman went in front of the UN and said, I am a citizen of the world. I'm renouncing my American citizenship.
It makes perfect sense because if anything, it's a selfless act by Superman. It's such a Superman thing to do.
Colin, you are not happy on Twitter about this.
No, it's nonsense. What
do you mean it's nonsense?
When he came
he came
to Earth?
Yeah.
Where did he live?
Very good question. Good question. Clark Kent lived in Kansas. Clark Kent has a birth certificate. Clark Kent is a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, but that's even that's faked.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's all faked. But that's all.
But didn't he have like surrogate parents?
Yeah.
And what were they?
They're Americans.
They're American. But hold
Superman
on,
didn't have parents.
I would like to point out that if anything, all Superman is an illegal alien. That's all he's ever been. He's always been an illegal alien. He was not born here. He does not. If he lived long enough on Earth, on United States, he could apply for citizenship. But his whole shit's a fraud.
I don't know. I'm not feeling it just because I thought he was, I always thought that because he was given a chance in America, on Earth. We didn't outcast. Not that we maybe could have done anything. Probably not. But we didn't outcast him and tell him to leave. Like we embraced him, right?
Yes, Clark Kent got embraced. Clark Kent is still an American citizen. Clark Kent, Clark Kent is the real person.
Yeah, but it's the same person.
Superman
right?
is the front.
It's the same person. So he's traveling so he still works in the United States and stuff like that. But then he's
once you're a
doesn't
superhero,
represent
certain
it.
things have to go in different places.
This is a part
All
of a
he
dual
does
identity.
Is he fights against evil, and there is a chance always that the United States could be evil too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It happens, Colin. You gotta let it go. It was the right move.
So he went to the UN.
Yeah. They didn't even. This is the conversation he had with one of the president's.
He was trying to
aides.
avoid World War.
Yeah.
The UN, man.
What about the UN? What's wrong?
I
with
don't like the UN.
Oh well. All right. Well, here comes a political fuse question from our good friend Anthony Simmons.
Okay.
He says, "Colin, this is yours. What do you think about the Republican debate? Who came out on top?"
Herman Cain.
Jeez. I don't even know who that is.
He came out on top.
Is he gonna be the next president?
Probably not, but I mean, I really like that guy a lot.
Is he gonna get the nods and all that jazz?
I'm kind of wavering on my support for Ron Paul after a few things he said recently that I'm really not feeling at all.
Did he say that the Islanders should move away from Long Island?
No, he didn't say that.
Okay.
But he just. My thing with Ron Paul was always that I really supported his domestic policy and his live and let live attitude. I love that. That's totally fine. But I don't agree with his foreign policy really at all. And he's really kind of gone off the deep end with some of the things he's been saying about the Bin Laden capture and stuff, murder and stuff like that. So I'm not really feeling him right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Andrew has a question for the room. Hey guys, my local Goodwill had a fully functional PS1 for a whopping $5. Naturally, I had to pick it up. Now, I am someone who never owned a PS1.
Why?
What games would you recommend I should hunt down?
Where do you begin?
Metal Gear Solid. That's where you start.
God.
Go get Metal Gear Solid.
How about you just buy PS1 games on your PS3?
You can't.
Yeah, the PSN's exploded.
Well, right now he can't, but why buy a PS1?
Because not every game's up there.
That's not I know, but I'm just saying, holding on to old garbage like that is dumb.
Wow. I agree. Old game is old, is what Greg Miller always says.
Yeah, that's your thing. There are a lot of good PlayStation games.
There are excellent ones, but...
So I don't even know where to begin. Why doesn't he write back and tell us what genres he likes? Because that would be a good place to start.
Metal Gear Solid, he needs to get.
Oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid. But I think he should buy Wild Arms and stuff. But he might not like that.
WWF SmackDown 2.
The thing is that he's playing it on a PS1, and I'm not saying I support emulation, but at this point, even buying these discs, if he can go out and find them, it's not going to support the people that made it.
Correct.
Anymore. So in my mind, it's just a pain in the ass to play them that way.
But at least go to Slackers in Columbia, Missouri.
Eventually, if he got them on PSN, he could support the developers that made them.
Okay.
That's fair.
Have it your way, Anthony. Anthony, why are you so down today? What's your problem?
I'm very tired.
All right. You want to start something?
Yeah, let's fucking start it.
All right, good. Well, you want a good question?
Yeah, I want a good question.
Pick 1, 2, or 3.
2.
All right, number 2. This is no, I'm gonna go to number 3. Number 2 doesn't work because it's a Ryan question. It's one of those quick ones.
I can be Ryan.
Number 3. Oh, okay, fine then. All right, this is
I want 2 and 3.
This is quick fire. You'll get them both. Yeah. Axel writes in with quick fires. Colin.
Yeah.
Ovechkin or Crosby?
Ovechkin.
Ovechkin or Crosby?
Ovechkin.
Colin. Mega Man or Infamous?
Mega Man.
Mega Man or Uncharted?
Mega Man.
Mega Man or Resistance?
Mega Man.
There's some bullshit answers right there. Clements. Beyond or Unlocked?
Beyond.
Yeah. Ryan. K-pop or IGN?
IGN.
Greg. A semi-hard, satisfying platinum or an easy soul-crushing one? Easy soul-crushing one. I want them fast. I want them furious. I don't care what it looks like. Greg. Live in the DC universe like in the DCUO or have complete and godlike control over all trophies. Live in the DC universe like DC Universe Online. Come on.
You'll be in stasis right now because they're...
All right. Well, you know what I mean. You know what it means. I'd
what
have
would you do right now?
superpowers.
My God, it would be a nightmare living in there right now.
Question number 3 comes from Carl. What's up, Beyondians? Since beginning to listen to the show a year and a half ago, I am now obsessed with trophies, and it is basically all your fault. It has been my goal to take over Greg and Colin in platinums for a while. He's gone from 0 to 16 in a year and a half. Is what he's trying to say.
Wow, nice.
With the PSN down, I've not been able to check your trophy, so I was wondering how many platinum trophies you guys have now.
I have 19, I believe.
Jeez, I have maybe 15, 14, 15. I can never remember. But I'm still beating you, aren't I, Colin?
Yep, because
The
you have 8 million bronze trophies.
I do have I got all my Portal 2 trophies and all my LA Noire trophies to sync when we go back.
Yeah, I have no trophies to sync up because I haven't turned my PlayStation on.
Christopher writes in, Greg, my wife, a casual gamer, was talking to some of her workers who mentioned DC Universe Online. She came home and asked me if it was something she would be interested in. I told her that I would have to run it by Greg Miller first. So should I tell my wife to look for Taylor Swift on the Redemption servers? Christopher, you should stay away from DC Universe Online at the moment. That's a waste of your money right now. You can't get online, can't play it.
I know.
Everything's hacked. Even when they bring back the PSN, is Sony Online going to be back?
That's the thing, yeah. Is not only did my account get compromised with PSN, but I also have an SOE account, which also got compromised.
Yeah.
So
what a disaster, dude.
Bad News Bears out there right now. When she comes back, I mean, the very basic stuff of DC Universe Online, like
I don't think there's an MMO Sony owns anymore that's worth playing.
Interesting.
What about I used to live with a guy.
I used to love EverQuest.
That's what I was gonna say. I used to live with a gentleman, an older gentleman, that played EverQuest 2 like incessantly.
Yeah, EverQuest 2's all right.
It didn't look. He tried to get me into it. And I'm like, I can't play.
Honestly, there's just no reason to play any like that typical of an MMO outside of World of Warcraft right now. It's really
the first MMO we talked about this, but the first MMO I'm really gonna jump into is Old Republic.
Why?
Because I like I like the Star Wars license, and I think
it is a BioWare game still with the dialogue trees and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. I played it at events,
and you can play it by yourself.
I guess it's hard to get into events.
Yeah.
At events, I've never been like blown away by it.
I've never. I mean, playing an MMO at event is terrible, no matter what, because you're not at your house in your underwear.
Awesome.
And
that's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
What?
No. That's
whatever.
Fuck.
Jeez. Jonah writes in. Says, Dear Podcast Beyond, I know Greg is beyond crazy for Elena Fisher from Uncharted, but who is Colin and Anthony Gallegos' video game love? And how far would all three of you go to get that person in real life?
Jeez, I don't even know.
Well, her name is, Alex Vance.
Ah.
The best female protagonist of all time.
From the Half-Lives.
Yes. She is because Valve is so good. Valve doesn't tell you that you should like this person or that they're charming through a cutscene like every other fucking game, or like have you kiss them so you're like, oh, okay, my character's invested in them romantically. No, Valve makes you invest in them by making you do things for them, like protect Alex while she's being attacked, stuff like that. You never even speak to her. You never speak to her. Just her dialogue, though.
It's a hard question, man. I don't even know. I'd have to really think about it.
I'm sure it's Dr. Wiley, right?
Yeah, Dr. Wiley.
I would.
Life.
Yeah. Okay.
How far would you go to get Alex Vance in real life?
I mean, I would have to participate in the world of Half-Life, so that's pretty fucking far.
Yeah. You get the weird zombie hats.
In a world that's taken over by the aliens from another dimension.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Is that really yours, Elena?
Elena Fisher? Yeah, probably. I like her a lot. She's a cutie pie. Good salt of the earth kind of people. She's hot.
I'm feeling the new Tomb Raider as well.
Why? Because she's like using a bow and tying her arm off?
Yeah, she looks fucking hot.
Well, she's hot looking, sure. I like Madison Page a lot too from Heavy Rain.
The actress that plays Madison Page.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
She's a good looking lady.
She is absurd looking, and she's
absurd looking
in a good way.
Yeah, she's like not human. So
in a good way.
In a good way.
Brad writes into beyond@ign.com, says, considering the still amazing lineup of software set for release on the PS3, many of them exclusive, do you think it's possible for Sony to quickly put the PSN debacle at the back of gamers' minds and save 2011?
I don't know.
Nope. I do not think they can.
I think that this will be with them for a while. It's only now that we're not talking about the Red Ring of Death for 360s anymore.
Yeah, right.
Took years.
Yeah.
I think from just kind of reading things on the internet and forums and comments on stories and stuff, it seems like, a lot of the diehards like us seem to be giving them a pass, like I've said. I don't think that's going to affect them. I think this is going to affect people moving forward with the PlayStation brand. It couldn't happen at a worse time for them because the momentum was finally swinging with worldwide sales to their favor. Because I still imagine by the end of the year that they'll be outselling Xbox 360 in worldwide sales. It's just, man, this is the worst fucking time that this could have happened.
I think it's going to hurt them in ways that we'll never know, us being the hardcore people, just because less than probably like 10% of people that own PS3s read IGN, I would bet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the majority of these people just go and try and do things online. Like, why is this broken? And they never know because they don't read PlayStation blogs.
Yeah,
they don't read websites.
And it doesn't say
for them,
where.
they just come on every day and they're like, oh, did this just get turned off? Yeah. And I didn't know. I didn't get word.
Like yesterday, I got a text message from a friend from college who I hadn't talked to in forever, and it was why can't I use the PS3? What the fuck is PlayStation Plus? What is going on?
That's what I'm saying. They just have no good way of getting the word out to people.
No, this was a PR debacle, the likes of which I have not really seen in this industry before. This is like really the stuff of legend. I really think like when we chronicle what's happened in gaming's past in 10 or 20 years, like this is still something people are going to talk about. It's like, man, this is like a really, because this doesn't look like a resolution's anytime near. Even if the PlayStation blog was right this time, which they never are about anything they've said in the last 3 weeks.
And it's not the blog. It's Seabold and it's Jack Trenton and it's
I know, but
Stringer.
So those guys.
And I still feel for him on all that shit. I understand how. I mean, as somebody who has to put deadlines and stuff, you never know.
I really don't feel for them anymore. I got to be honest with you. There was a point where like,
I'm saying I feel for the faces of these companies who are putting out statements saying it'll be up by the end of the week. We don't know. Like I understand trying to give people hope, and at the same time not knowing that SOE is about to get hacked as well, or that SOE is fucked too. I'm not going to pretend like I know the technical aspects of what needs to go in to really rebuild the PlayStation Network and make it better. I think there's screws and stuff. I don't know.
But I really don't believe for a second that they couldn't have done something quicker and better than they've done. I just don't believe it. And that's just impossible for me to believe. It's been over 3 weeks.
This is why Nintendo doesn't have an online service.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they don't have to worry about it. I mean, they've killed the revenue stream of a bunch of developers. They've killed their own system in its proudest year after a really long struggle to get it accepted. After so many debacle after debacle, and then it's just like they can't win, man. It's like they just can't catch a break. But I don't feel bad for anyone over there because it's like, like you guys, even if the technical aspects are out of their hands, which it is, those things they can't deal with, they still didn't deal with it well on a PR standpoint, even remotely. And for that, I don't feel bad for them. I feel bad for us because we can't play our friggin' systems.
Yeah.
And like
you can.
Yeah,
just
but
not do what you want with it.
But you can't do anything that you could put a disc in, but that's not really like what the trend in which gaming consoles are going today. And like I said it, and I'll say it again. The thing I miss the most is the store. In these 3 weeks, Sony's probably lost $50 from me. How many more people have they lost that money from? I mean, it's.
Now, have they lost it from you, or are you just suspending giving the money? Like, when it comes back, are you still going to spend that $50?
Well, when it comes, he's probably not going to spend $80 that he might have spent over that same amount of time.
Yeah, I think that's right. I'm gonna take a wait and see approach. I want to see what they're gonna do to make it up to consumers. They need to do more.
They already said the welcome back program. The thing went off, and within a week of it being off, they said we're gonna give you a free month. Of
I know, but that's not good enough, and that's not even remotely good enough at this point. That's not good enough.
This is depressing beyond this week. We're all just. This is like back to beyond circa whenever we started this damn show.
2007.
Yeah, 2007. First 30 episodes. No one like PlayStation.
Let's talk about one thing that I do love.
All right,
the NGP.
Oh, okay.
I just want everyone to know that.
I can't wait to get a system that only relies on the PSN.
That might be a system, the second system ever that I buy on launch day.
I'm definitely going to buy it on launch day, but yeah, like we were talking about, because E3, I imagine NGP is going to really take center stage.
You'd hope, yeah.
And the PlayStation Network is intimately tied to the NGP, obviously, and they're going to have to get their shit together. Like I think I said it to you. I don't know if I said it on the podcast, Greg. Like I feel like they need to rebrand the PlayStation Network.
I do only want an NGP though, if I can get it for under $300.
I think it'll be $250.
If I can do that, they'll have a day one. The only other system I've ever bought on launch day is a Wii.
Boy, I would have if I could. I would have. Yeah, Jesus. I would have if I could have found one. Too, yeah. I bought many things on launch day, but it's.
I usually play the wait and see game with a lot of them.
Yeah,
but
the first game or console I ever bought on launch day was the PS2, and it was the first system I ever bought with my own money.
Like, I bought it. Yes, it was my first system I ever bought.
I had my own,
but I bought it a month after because they were so hard to find.
Yeah, I know. I waited in line overnight. Yeah,
and KB Toys was charging me $329 for it, and that was whatever that year money was. Not to mention I had to buy like a $50 memory card, $40 second controller, and a game.
Yeah,
it was an expensive launch.
Yeah, with the PS2, like at EB or whatever, we had to spend $500 because you had to buy, to get it on launch day, you had to buy the system, the warranty, the controller, the memory card, and a game. And that's the only way you could buy a PlayStation.
And that was $500 those dollars.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have breaking news from my internet. Michael Burns has written in to say PSA infamous $9.99 at Best Buy today. So if you're listening to this on Thursday...
And you don't need to be on PSN to play that.
You don't. Thursday the 12th, run to Best Buy and buy
That's a fucking fantastic deal.
That's a great deal. I might just go buy 5 for the hell of it. What do I care?
Why not?
Make some cool cars out of them.
Okay.
What are we doing here on time? We're doing all right. Anthony.
Yeah.
Pat Cotter writes in and says, I have a fun, non-PlayStation related question for you guys. If Hollywood were to do a film chronicling the rise of the IGN PlayStation team and Podcast Beyond, who would you want to play each of you, and who would you want to direct the film?
Oh, wow.
So I say we do it for other people. I'll do Colin. I'm going to pick for Colin.
I'm going to pick for you.
Yeah, and then
Colin, you pick for Anthony. Pick for Greg. No, you can pick for Ryan Clements.
No, because we're picking who's playing the other person.
Okay.
So you're picking who plays Greg Miller. I'm picking who plays Colin. Colin's picking who plays Anthony Gallegos. I did not think this one through ahead.
No,
of time.
I didn't either. This is a tough one. I got to really think about it.
Well, who would we want to direct it? That can be something we debate while in the background of our minds we sit there.
Michael Bay
Michael Bay.
or Gus Van Sant.
McG.
McG. That's a good one. Bryan Singer.
I think it should be a quirky movie done by that one guy that makes movies for hipsters. What's his name?
Jeez, I don't know.
You know, he does everything.
the
Where
one
the
who-
Wild Things Are. Fucking.
Oh, Spike Jonze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spike Jonze would be good.
Let's just Spike.
He was
Jonze.
behind the Jackass, and he was behind the Buddy Holly music video for Weezer. There you go. Who would play Colin Moriarty? I would say, I'm assuming we can pick people who are older, and they'll dress them up in the thing.
Boner.
No. No, I would say Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
Give me an Ed Norton for
cool.
Colin
That'd be
Moriarty.
all right. I really like Ed Norton a lot.
Yeah.
He's great. I can't think of the dude's name, but the first guy that came to my mind is guy from Inception.
For Anthony?
Yeah, for Anthony.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought of this, but the guy from that was supposed to play Riddler. He's in like the new Batman.
Third Rock from the Sun Kid.
Yeah.
Gordon Levitt.
Gordon Levitt Hewitt.
Oh
So-
man, yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Who's playing me, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about that.
Okay.
And so the first person that came to my head for some reason was Matt Damon, which makes no sense.
Whatever. Jonah Hill. That's who I'd put in for Greg Miller.
Who's Jonah Hill?
Super bad fat kid.
No.
Yeah, he's funny. He's loud.
Yeah, but he's just not. No.
Norton.
A younger Ed Norton.
Ed
though,
Norton
not,
and Jonah Hill.
what a buddy movie we got here.
Or if it could be a younger one, maybe the guy from what's his face from Capote.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the guy from Patch Adams. Yeah, I know you do.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
A young Philip Seymour Hoffman.
That'd be
I could
good.
see him
That'd be
playing
really
it.
good, actually. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Clements, we should all take a crack at. Who would play Ryan Clements? Boner, I think
man.
is pretty.
Boner?
Yeah. That
Mike Seaver.
Dax Shepard.
I don't know. I'm trying to think who's popular on the Disney Channel right now. For some reason, I see
Bieber?
Clements being. Yeah, but I could see
Selena Gomez. They just redo his character for the movie.
God, we're terrible.
This is a good one. You got anything for Clements? Who do you want?
I'm trying to. I don't know. I have no idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, for next week's show, go to beyond. Email beyond@ign.com with your picks of who would play all of us in the Podcast Beyond movie, or don't.
Please send side by side pictures.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, do that. That would be
down,
awesome.
Get down with it.
Ed Norton and Jonah Hill.
Be the most expensive, worthless movie of all time.
All right, I think I'm gonna pick a final question here. Sorry to the PlayStation pimp Hunter Ellis, Leo. Your question is not getting read. Instead, Josh' question's getting read. It's a two-parter, one for me and Colin, one for you filling in for Ryan.
Okay.
Colin Gregg, I'm glad to hear Colin is going to be writing the new Infamous review. But is there a way for a Podcast Beyond fanboy and all? What? But is there a way, being a Podcast Beyond fanboy and all, that Colin and Greg could, quote, cross their streams and give Infamous 2 a dual review? To be honest, you both have insight and high respect. Needed to give Infamous 2 a proper review. Yeah. No, Colin's doing the review myself.
IGN doesn't do dual reviews.
Exactly. I mean, I will talk at great length on Podcast Beyond about it. I'm sure we'll have an Infamous 2 episode.
Yeah, it won't have a score, but Greg will still tell you whether he loved it or hated it.
And there'll be a second opinions piece where you get,
Yeah, we'll do all that stuff. I mean, Greg and I are pretty open about talking about reviews that each of us have done.
Yeah.
For instance, like I think Dead Nation's a really good example. Greg liked it. I loved it.
Yeah.
And we've talked a great deal about that.
And you've admitted how wrong you are. So
Yeah,
that's really
exactly. But we're still going to, regardless, we'll still cross streams.
Adam also wrote in with an Infamous 2 question asking if we knew about save files from Infamous 1 carrying over to Infamous 2. We talked about that forever ago at E3 last year.
Yep.
Nate hinted at it, Nate Fox, game director. But we have since heard nothing about it.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I think they will.
No.
I thought that they did say that.
Yeah,
they
but since we
hinted
haven't,
at it, yeah,
I think
but-
they would have been pushing that as a big feature if it
That
was something.
sucks, man, if they don't do that. I really kind of thought that.
Mike,
I mean,
they
I don't
would've
know what you'd get out of it. That's what I just don't understand what you'd get out of it.
I don't know.
I guess you could start as either evil or good, but I mean, then it kind of...
Well, I just think that references to the old game would have been cool. Like,
Well, I guarantee there's going to be references.
no,
to
I
the
know,
new
but
game.
depending on the choices you make, like you're having a conversation with your friends or whatever. Cole's having a conversation with Zeke, and he's
okay.
like, it was really terrible about what happened to your girlfriend back in Empire City.
spoilers.
Like, if you,
I'm sure that they thought all those things were cool really early on too, and then they realized, so wait. We're going to have to develop 2 versions of this? We're going to have to do 2 voiceovers? How much is that going to cost? Fuck it.
See, I think you still have that, though. I think by the time you... First off, what you just said happens no matter what.
I know, but you could say like it could be a lead in like remember when you tried to save Trish and
Yeah.
because if you make the other choice, that does still happen, but you don't try to do anything. You try to save the doctors.
Yeah.
So they can like that's just an example of something that they could just could they kind of do that in Mass Effect? With like just passing conversation, like dudes you meet in the first game that you just kind of happen to meet in the second game. I just think that would be kind of cool. Like if you got all the dead drops, then maybe like the FBI agent comes, or what's his name? It's not Jacob, right?
John.
He's
he got sucked into the race sphere.
I know, but I'm saying
that's why I still say he's the Beast.
No, I know
we
that.
haven't
I'm just saying maybe if you found them all, then a guy finds John's records, or whatever, and tracks you down, but only if you found.
I see.
I just think those kinds of things would be cool.
That would be cool. Okay, I'll give you that. Anthony, here comes the question. This is for Ryan though, so I'm gonna give it to you, and then I'm gonna phrase it for you.
I've been answering in the version of Clements, like all those questions I answered earlier, Clements. I think that's how he would answer.
No, that's not true. There wasn't enough hemming and hawing.
There
you go. Ryan, you're not boring. Last episode you said, quote, I feel like it's boring to everybody, quote, when asked about your abs. It's a conversational podcast, goddammit. Come on, Ryan. Come on. I'm a total heterosexual male, but for some reason, conversations about your abs and Colin fondling your pecs fascinates me.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
I'm sorry.
That's my Ryan commencement. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make a big deal out of it, but I think that's really good. Thanks, man. That's nice.
It was good. That was a good Ryan's impression. I liked it.
Yeah, it was.
Remember to be part of the show, beyond.ign.com. We're here every Thursday on IGN.com.
Except for next week.
On the IGN tunes. Yeah, next week there will not be a podcast Beyond, probably. Most likely. I'm gone in LA seeing games. Colin is gone to...
I'm going to Virginia. My brother-in-law is getting his PhD.
Virginia for a PhD. Anthony Gallegos will be here. Maybe he can convince Clements to do it.
Yeah, if we do, though, we'll just do it two-man.
Okay, good.
We won't get a bunch of
A new school fireside chats?
Yeah, you guys can do fireside chats without me.
Yeah, it'll just be all about K-pop and his abs.
We're closing
and maybe a new game.
The show. Ooh, a new game to talk about, you say? I like that. Closing out the show. Follow IGN on Twitter at IGN. Follow Greg Miller on Twitter at GameOverGreggy. Follow Colin Moriarty at No Taxation. Follow Anthony Gallegos on Twitter at ChuffMoney. Make sure you follow every one of us on the My IGN, our social networking service. It's cool and stuff. Why are you shaking your head?
No. I'm not shaking my head.
Oh, okay. Okay. And, keep reading IGN, keep listening to Podcast Beyond. Ryan's usually the one who plays us out here, plays some music for us. He handed me an email he wanted me to read. Hold on, everybody. All right, here we go. This is from Ryan Clements. A reader contacted him. We're going to read this long thing here, okay?
Really?
Hi.
You hate long messages.
Yeah, but this is a good one.
Okay.
Hi, my name is, and I'm going to say it wrong, Tiara. Tiara? How do I say that one there?
Is it Tiara?
Yeah.
Tiara.
Tiara?
Yeah, Tiara.
Like the thing you put on your head.
All right. Sorry, everybody. Hi, my name is Tiara Dees, the girl who contacted you on... that's the wrong sentence to start with. Hi, my name is Tiara Dees, and I have been a long-time listener. I'm currently a senior double majoring in music and visual journalism at the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. I also intern with GamingAngels.com, a site for women gamers. Last year, my boyfriend, Stephen Swain, contacted you guys about our 2-year anniversary, in which you guys played a song I wrote called Circuit Hell. This was one of my best anniversary gifts I could have asked for, and I wanted to compose music for video games for so many years. I was literally in tears when I heard Steven's message on your podcast, and I was ecstatic to hear it again on your podcast.
Oh, man. We hooked Steven up.
Again, thank you, Beyond. For our 3rd year anniversary on May 10th, I would like to return the favor. During this year, so much has happened to me and him. Steven led me through one of the toughest times of my life after my adopted mother, my grandmother, passed away from lung disease. He gave me advice and held my hand as I cried for many, many months. He was indefinitely patient with me, and through his support, I was able to find strength and courage to move forward with my goals. The word thank you and I love you cannot really express the gratitude I have for you, Stephen. You literally changed my life. You taught me how to be strong, professional, and independent. You have gone above and beyond your call of duty for this, and I will always be grateful. I wish I had time to write you a song, Stephen. However, just remember this. I will always love you. Always. Then there's a little quote down here.
Man, I'm a terrible person.
Why is that?
I heard that message and she's like, Steven did this really nice thing that made her cry, and I thought, man, Steven got fucking laid for that. And then
it goes a little bit further, and it's all this horrible heavy stuff.
And then she was like, and I want to repay the favor, and I was just like, blowjob.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't. It was just a shout out on our podcast that you've ruined 3 years down the drain because Anthony Gallegos
No,
his
not
big
3
mouth.
years. Fucking congratulations, man. Most people can't even manage that. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a struggle for me and Colin to keep the spark in our relationship.
I
But
know,
we do it
jeez.
every Thursday, rain or shine here.
I know we're dealing with the
And
ups
I
and downs.
think that you said that I love you and thank you aren't enough, but they are. I bet you if you ask him, it's totally enough.
Maybe a little something else.
That's okay. Come on. Like she said in there, she didn't include a song, and I didn't have time to go through all the songs. So I'm playing another Damon Hatfield song.
Okay.
Another joint off Color Beam. Remember, you can buy
Great.
Color Beam off iTunes. Great. Isn't sarcastic or great? Like the album's great.
It's pretty cool.
Album's great, yeah. This is called This Story is Happy End. It's off the Color Beam album from Damon. Beyond!
Beyond.